going to teach about sexual reproduction in human beings. Sexual reproduction is very important for the continuation of the species. Sexual reproduction has some advantages. The first one is, in sexual reproduction, more variations are produced. You know that in sexual reproduction, the two parents are involved in that process. So they have different sets of chromosomes. That chromosomes having the different types of characters. So during the sexual reproduction, when these two different sets of chromosomes join to form a complete set of chromosomes in the new cell. So it creates a lot of variation compared to the asexual reproduction. The second point is, the new formed individual has characteristics of both the parents, male and female parents. Third one is, variations are more viable in sexual mode of reproduction than in asexual one. That means, the asexual reproduction, the new individuals are created from a single parent. That's why this asexual reproduction having less variation compared to the sexual reproduction. Humans use sexual mode of reproduction. All of us know that our body changes, we become older. All these changes grouped under the process of growth. But in early teenage years, a new set of changes occur. That changes cannot be explained simply as body enlargement. As we studied earlier, during this time, there will be secondary sexual characters in the bodies of boys and girls. And we also know that we can see some common changes occur during this time in their body. Look here, the first one is hair. The hair formation in private parts, then genital area that will be darkened, then body hair that will be smooth and soft, the skin becomes oily, and the last one is awareness of body. That means the teenagers are very conscious at that time. All these changes takes place slowly over a period of months and years. In some people, they happen early and quickly, while in others, they can happen very slowly. Even so, all these changes shows difference between people. All these changes are aspects of the sexual maturation of the body. Sexual mode of reproduction means that the germ cells from the two individuals have to join together. Let us start with the male reproductive system. The male reproductive system has two portions. The first one is the portions which produce the germ cells, that is testes. And second one is the portions that deliver the germ cells to the site of fertilization. From this picture, you can understand the various parts of the male reproductive system. The sperm formation that occurs in the testis that is present outside the abdominal cavity located inside the scrotum, because the formation of the sperms require low temperature than the body temperature. The testes also produce a male hormone that is known as testosterone. It brings the changes, secondary sexual characters in boys. The sperms produced in the testes and delivered through the vas deferens. This blue colored tube represents vas deferens. This vas deferens united a tube coming from the urinary bladder. At the urethra, it's a common passage of both sperm and urine. Along that path, the prostate gland and seminal vesicles are present. They added their secretions. So it will help for the smooth movement of sperms through these tubes, and also it provides nutrition. This is the structure of a sperm. A sperm having head, middle piece and a tail. The head contains nucleus. So it having the half number of chromosomes from the father. It is haploid in nature. Then the middle piece having the mitochondria, it produces energy. And the tail, it will helps to move towards the female germ cell. This is a female reproductive system. From this picture, you can identify the different parts of the female reproductive organs. So first one is ovary. When a girl born,
The ovary already contains thousands of immature eggs. On puberty, some of these ovaries start maturing. Now, one egg is released every month by any one of the ovary, and these egg that move from the ovary to the womb through a thin tube called the fallopian tube or oviduct. These two oviducts that unite into elastic bag-like structure called the uterus. The uterus opens into the vagina through cervix. The cervix is not labeled here. The cervix is the narrow part just above the vagina. The sperms enter through the vaginal passage during the sexual intercourse. And after that, the sperms, they travel upwards and reach the oviduct, where they can be encounter the egg. The fertilized egg or zygote that travels through this fallopian tube, and finally it will enter into the uterus and stick on the inner lining of the uterine wall. So here you can clearly see the different stages of embryo: 2-cell stage, 4-cell stage. Then we can tell the other name for that mass of cell, that is morula, then blastocyst, and finally we call its embryo. The inner lining thickens and is richly supplied with the blood for nourishing the growing embryo. These embryos get the nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called a placenta. This is a disc-like structure present inside the uterine wall. It contains a lot of villi near to the embryonic side of the tissue. The villi provides large surface area for the transport of or exchange of glucose, then oxygen, and also waste material from the baby or fetus towards the mother's blood. Waste material and also carbon dioxide. The umbilical cord that helps to connect the fetus to the mother's body. So this is it is rich in blood vessels for removing the waste material from the fetus, and also provides the oxygen and glucose or nutrients to the fetus. The mother's body is designed to undertake the development of the child. The development of child inside the mother's body needs approximately 9 months. After that, the child is born as a result of rhythmic contraction of the muscles in the uterus. If the fertilization is not occur, the menstruation will happen in their body. The ovary produces an egg every month. The inner lining of the uterus always ready to receive a fertilized egg. This inner lining breaks and comes out through the vagina as blood and mucus. This process is known as menstruation. We must also consider the possible health consequence of having sex. The sexual act is very intimate connections of bodies. It is not surprisingly that some of the diseases can transmit through sexually also. Some examples are bacterial infections like gonorrhea and syphilis, and viral infections like warts and HIV/AIDS. We can prevent these sexually transmitted diseases with the help of some contraceptive methods. Example, using of condoms. Some of these contraceptive methods are also used for avoid pregnancy. The first one is battle method. Second one is chemical method. Third one is IUDs, that means intrauterine devices. And fourth one is surgical. First one is barrier method. It involves the creation of a mechanical barrier so that the sperm does not reach the egg. Example, condoms on the penis or similar coverings worn in the vagina can serve this purpose. The second method is chemical methods. They change the hormonal balance of the body. These drugs commonly need to be taken orally as pills. However, since they change the hormonal balances, they can cause some side effects too. The third one is use of intrauterine devices. The loom or copper teeth are placed in the uterus to prevent pregnancy. They can cause side effects due to irritation of the uterus. From this picture, you can understand how these devices placed inside the uterus. The last one is surgical mothers. The two mothers are there. First one is tubectomy and second one is vasectomy. First one is tubectomy. If the fallopian tube in the female is blocked, the egg is not able to reach the uterus. In this picture, you can see that this fallopian tube that's cut, or we can block it through the surgical mother. So in that case, the fertilization is not occur. The second one is vasectomy. If the vas difference in the female is blocked, the sperm transfer will be prevented. The surgical mothers are safe in the long run. The surgery itself can cause infections and other problems if not performed properly. The surgery can also be used for removal of unwanted pregnancies. This may be misused by people, those who do not need a particular child. So, the prenatal sex determination has been prohibited by law. For a healthy society, the female-male sex ratio must be maintained. The rates of birth and death rate of a given population will determine its size. That's all for today. Thank you.